I see that you're about to hit me with the bone broth right here. God
You
damn.
know, here's the thing. This is the best stuff that I know how to share with people.
Sweet.
And so
I've been dying to try it.
Oh, badass. We got some liver on the left. We got in the middle. I don't know if you've ever heard me say it, but I say, why eat vegetables when you can eat?
It's a great catchphrase.
And then we got some bone marrow over here on the right.
Right.
And so you are down to try it.
Yeah, I'm down. I've been hearing you talk about all this shit for forever. I got to go for it. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Is the camera capturing the table? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Well, I always want to go with the liver first. You good with that?
That's this one?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, these are big pieces. Oh, God. Cheers, my man. So this is raw liver. It was filtering blood just a day or two ago. Very fresh. How you doing?
The only thing I could compare it to is eating like an oyster.
I think
a little bit of a similar texture.
A little bit of a, oh yeah.
Man, that was wild.
Well, you crushed it, so let's move on to the testicle. The testicle's next right there in the middle.
I believe I ate a testicle at one point in my life, but it definitely wasn't cooked like this. Or it definitely wasn't raw like this, yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, why would you want to eat a testicle cooked like raw? Is how to do the testicle.
Man, they filled me in. Like I was eating a salad earlier, and they go, I see the guys walking by with the fucking wooden tray and shit, and I'm like, oh boy. I'm getting a little bit more protein this meal than I bargained for. All right, we're doing the testicle.
That's the testicle.
A bull's testicle. It's not your testicle. Okay.
It's not a human testicle. This is definitely a bull testicle. And here's the thing. I'm glad that you can see that you can do this, right? This is not the most delicious stuff in the world. You can
say that again.
Yeah, you listen. You can make it delicious. Just for the record, Liver King Chef Lionel makes testicle ceviche for the liver boys.
Okay.
They love it.
Right.
So I like to bring this out because, hey, listen, this is primal.
Right.
There's no maple syrup, no salt, no dressing, no nothing. You should know what it tastes like. And then if you want to go ahead and sweeten the pot a little bit, go ahead and do that.
Well, I would rather get through it raw than, I know what maple syrup tastes like,
Yeah.
I don't know what all this shit tastes like, so it's probably better for me to do it like this. I feel like this is doing something kind of freaky to my brain.
You know what? It lights people up. Almost everyone. So here's the thing. Here's what people don't realize is that we
Can I get a
evolved.
lighter, by the way?
We evolved with this kind of nourishment since the beginning of time.
Right.
So for millions of years, we've been eating nose to tail nutrition. We recently took this out of our diet. Your DNA expects this kind of nourishment.
Right.
In your life, most people have never had raw liver, raw testicle, and we'll do the raw bone marrow here in a second.
Right.
Once you start having this nourishment, people's brains start lighting up. They start feeling different things. Again, you got to remember, we evolved with these inputs for our entire being as species.
Right.
To express, we became the baddest mammalian predators that ever lived.
Right.
We recently took this out of our diet to our detriment.
Okay, but when I was watching you, I watched a video that was like some bodybuilder dude, like 24 hours with Liver King, like staying at your house or some shit.
Yeah.
I think it was longer than that.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing the table, and it's like you do have some like cooked steaks, and there's like, I think, ground beef type hamburger patties and shit like that, that like probably most people watching this could get down with.
100%.
What's the value in not cooking it like this?
Yeah, so when you cook things, you'll tend to lose some of the nourishment. Some of the peptides are no longer intact.
Right.
Some of the peptides are really fragile. So, for example,
What's this one?
That's the bone marrow. So yeah, let's have a little bit of the bone.
So we're not scraping it out of this thing, or is that bone marrow too?
Yeah, the bone marrow was already scraped out of another bone like that.
And so when you order bone marrow in a fucking restaurant, and it's like, it's just some like goop. It's like been cooked inside the bone, right? Like they do all kinds of shit to it that you probably don't approve of, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
When the bone marrow is about 100 degrees, it's delicious, it's rich, it's succulent. When we butcher a cow, I'll take the femur bone and I'll take my axe to the bone marrow, and the bone marrow is not solidified, it's not waxy. You just slurp it out. It's the most delicious thing you've ever had. Most of those steakhouses, they don't have to touch anything. All they do is cook it. But this is the way we evolved, right? Fire at will.
At first, I felt like it tasted like a potato, and then I started to feel like I was eating a stick of butter with no flavor.
Well, you didn't taste it?
I mean, man, I don't know what the fuck to think about what I just ate. Yeah. It's still in my mouth. It feels like I still have like butter like soaked to my teeth.
Good.
Wow.
But because the thing is, again, we evolved with this stuff. We recently took it out, right? You know what it tastes like. We've got to find a way to get this back into our diet. I tell everybody, listen, if you don't do shit, if you don't listen to any part of my message,
Right.
The name is Liver King because liver is king.
Right.
If you want to be an alpha organism kicking an ass in life, do what other alpha organisms do. You maybe heard me tell this story, but I'll say it real quick. Killer whales.
Right.
There's certain pods that rip open great white sharks. They go for the liver first. If you look at how when a lion hunts, it goes for the liver first. Modern day primitive culture tribes kicking our ass in life, they go for the liver first. We need to get this stuff back in our lives. And if there's a lot of people that aren't willing to actually do this, or not willing, and so if you're not willing to do this raw, it's okay. You can cook it. You're gonna lose some of the peptides, some of that nourishment. And if you're not willing to do that, I got this. I don't even know what to call it. It's a shake right in front of us.
Okay.
It's called the Whole Feast.
What's in that?
Can you taste it first, and then I'll tell you?
It's what's it gonna taste like? It's like a bone broth
You're gonna
type thing, or is it like a protein powder type
like a
thing?
protein
Oh, okay.
I think you're gonna love it. Cheers.
Cheers. Pretty good.
So this has liver, heart, pancreas, spleen, kidney, bones, blood,
Right.
and colostrum in it.
Wow.
So I tell everybody, listen, if you can go on a hunt, go on a hunt. And establish that kind of connection with land and the animal.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not going to do that, because most people won't go to your butcher, go to your grocery store, go to White Oak Pastures, get the real deal. Very few people are willing to do that. You got to get it somehow. So go get something like the Whole Feast. Go get you can get liver capsules. There's a lot of ways to get it in. Once you get it in and you feel the light bulb come on, now you know.
Right.
Now there's no turning back.
Right.
And so now if you decide to leave this out, this is to your detriment. So thank you for letting me share this with you because, again,
sure.
this is my message is start with liver because liver is king. Once you allow that in your life, you pay attention to how you feel over the next hour, 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm very
start to
interested
happen.
to see what starts happening to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure. I've been seeing you eat this stuff. You've ascribed these benefits to it, and I've been very curious to see what this might be like. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we talked a little bit about screen time and working out, and I love how your trainer and you guys refer to each other as primals, which is badass.
Got to do it.
And we talked a little bit about when your diet is off at night doing that kind of stuff, but right now you look like you're in pretty goddamn good shape, like you're kicking ass. Is that right?
I mean, I got a little gut on me. I'm about 230 right now, and I could see myself being 200 if I lean down, but I want to start packing on muscle at some point and
Is that
kind
what
of
you're
focus more on
focusing
that.
on at the gym? Is putting on muscle?
I just like lift heavy, pretty much every day that I am lifting, and then I fucking do extra cardio sessions and shit. I'm not really like that focused. I feel like I need more of like a specific plan to get to a specific goal. I've just wanted to be skinny for a long time and haven't really like bothered to think that much about like what would my diet look like if I was to want to get big.
Got it. Because really what you're going to find with all 9 ancestral tenets, they all influence how we look, feel, and function.
Right.
Epigenetically, it signals something. So every single one of them affects our hormones. All of this has to do with if you can optimize your hormones, right? If you can double your testosterone,
Right.
You don't have to take any stupid PEDs.
Yeah.
Right. So if we're talking about sleep, eat, move, shield, connect, cold, sun, fight, bond, and you start to get into this a little bit more deeply, if you connect with this, if you start to do more of this stuff, what you're going to find out is that with the same amount of effort, you're going to put on more muscle. And as you because your hormones are going to be optimized, right?
Right.
Your neurochemistry is going to be better. You're going to feel better. You're going to want to take more massive action. And what you're going to find out is as you put on more muscle, your basal metabolic rate goes up. You're going to burn more calories at rest. And you will end up getting a six-pack. And so this is why if this is one of your goals, the 9 ancestral tenets should be important to you. And I hope that we're able to get in, if not now, even on part 2, part 3, part 4, as we get to stay in touch with each other.
But so, okay, say I wanted to make this a part of my life. I'm assuming that you maybe wouldn't advise me to go all in and just start eating completely raw meat 24/7. How would you suggest somebody just start doing this for like a meal here and there? What would like your perspective on it be? And why are vegetables bad? I'm under the impression vegetables are very good for you.
Yeah.
And can I get a lighter?
First thing I'll say is I say procure liver any way you can.
Right.
If you can do it raw, do it raw. You don't have to have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but you got to get it, right?
Right.
And so if you can get it raw and eat it raw, eat it raw. Have an ounce or 2 every single day.
Okay.
I have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm the fucking liver king. I eat a pound a day.
Right.
For the record, I'm not advising you or anybody do that, but you got to figure out if you can't be compliant, then none of this fucking matters. So you got to figure out what can you do on a daily basis, or can you cook it and have 2 or 3 ounces 2 or 3 times a week?
Right.
Right. So we got to figure that out. How do we get liver in your life on a consistent and daily basis?
Right.
So let me just ask you this: Could you eat raw liver a couple of times a week, or would you prefer to cook it a couple of times a week?
Well, I mean, I guess I would probably enjoy eating it more if it was cooked, but I mean, I could probably. It was a small enough quantity that I'm sure I could eat it.
So that small quantity.
We're gonna do a lot more than that. I would assume.
No. Hey, if you that small quantity we did, you do that every day, you're good.
Really?
Every day you're good, because at the end of the week that's almost a pound. Because
Okay.
you did about ounce and a half, I would say, in what you had picked up there. That's not quite a pound, but that's about 10 ounces. You're getting there. That small quantity every day would get you where you need to be.
Wow.
And some of these vitamins, like vitamin B12 is a fat soluble vitamin. That's or not a fat soluble. This is a water soluble vitamin. So it's not like it stores in your system. You kind of renew some of this nourishment on a daily basis. So if you could do that every day, I would say do that every day.
Okay.
For a lot of people who's like, fuck that, because you know how many people I try and say, hey, let's eat some raw liver,
Right.
and they can't. Ain't no way.
Well, so a lot of people can't do what I just did.
A lot.
Oh,
of people
really?
can't.
Okay.
And that's another thing that, like, when I meet someone like you, I'm not surprised that you had no trouble with that, because everything goes through the mind.
Right.
Right. How you do anything is how you do everything. I'm not surprised.
I'll also kind of do anything for the content.
Oh, is that right? you know. Someone asked me the other day, like, hey, to the same point, they're like, how did you do the social thing, out of the gate? And I said, well, I think I figured it out. Here's what you do. If you can make videos where you almost die, but you actually survive barely, you'll get views. And so we started doing a bunch of stupid shit. Like I would wake surf with 100-pound chains around my neck and no life jacket. And I'm not a good swimmer.
Right.
And eventually you're going to fall, and you fall, and you just sink.
Not being a good swimmer doesn't seem very primal. I feel like being in the water is about as primal as it gets, right?
I agree. I agree.
Have you tried and it just doesn't really take?
You know what? So we live on the lake. I swim.
Okay.
I swim. Here's the thing. I can swim about 100 yards fast as fuck.
Really?
You need me to go much further than that, it ain't happening.
I guess your body might not be really suited for swimming. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I sink like a rock.
Right.
I mean, this guy doesn't tread
Well,
water.
you're carrying all this mass that probably, it's not what swimmers look like. They're usually very lean.
That's why I tell people, I'm like, you know what? I'm good to go that far, no further than that.
Right.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. We appreciate y'all.